I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Hello, and welcome to Amy Loves Bad Movies. I'm Amy.
I'm in pain. Perpetually.
Tonight we're gonna go see the latest Star Wars movie.
It's goddamn Star Wars.
It is
Holy shit, it's more Star Wars!
I'm really only asking one thing from this movie.
Star Wars?
Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars. However, my thing with Star Wars lately is I work in a pop culture merchandising store, and at the moment, it is covered in the Star Wars. And I'm a little burnt out from it, which is sad because this is something I've loved since I was 6 years old. So that's how much the merchandising has gotten to me. It's just porgs everywhere, and Kylo Ren, and waffle makers, and just everything you could make into a Star Wars is a Star Wars. And I got a little sick of it. So the only thing I ask of this movie tonight is to reignite my passion for Star Wars. And they can do that however they want. Just make it interesting and fun, and just make me love Star Wars again, please. That's all I ask, right? It's not much to ask. How about you? What are you looking to get out of the Star Wars tonight?
Just don't do more Rogue One. Well, the parts that worked, Darth Vader acting like Mr. Freeze and friggin' wrecking stuff, but
yeah,
I've heard there's been nothing but good things to say about this movie, so
yeah,
we'll see.
And yeah, this has to be a short one because this was the last minute, so we have to run our asses in there so we don't lose our seats. So love you guys. See you in 2-ish hours.
Was that a good one? Was that good? Okay. Okay, let's watch it back. Let's watch it back. Let's watch it back. Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so we're back. And when we introduced this, I expressed that I was a bit tired of the Star Wars brand, especially now that it has the Disney machine behind it. But there's something that happens when you sit your ass down in the movie theater seat and the horns blare as the Star Wars logo begins, and then the crawl starts, and you're just, and especially with these movies, you're just transported into this world and into this story, and I fell in love with it all over again. They gave me exactly what I asked for, and that was a Star Wars movie. There's going to be spoilers in this, because we have some shit to discuss.
Oh, do we?
Yes. But yeah, I just wanted to express that there's something special about the Star Wars movies, especially with the original trilogy, that these movies seem to capture.
Yeah, it was a pretty stellar film. It's hard not to get a little invested whenever the the title jump scare happens.
It does. It demands your attention. Whoever came up with that originally is a genius. This had one of the best opening sequences I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron, aka Wedge Antilles. I'm sorry. He's basically what I would imagine Wedge to be. From reading the Extended Universe books, which they obviously took some shit from, because, oh my god, does Rey and Kylo give me some Solo Twins vibes.
In case you're wondering if this does what the, what was the previous movie? It wasn't A New Hope. That was episode 4, right?
A New Hope was episode 4. What was the last movie called?
I can't remember.
I just kept referring to it as episode 7.
Yeah, episode 7. In case you're wondering if it does the thing where episode 7, where it kind of repeats the same beats almost verbatim. It does, but it switches.
It's a reinterpretation of the scenes. Yeah.
It switches around the elements and certain things. So now the battle that looks like looks an awful lot like Hoth will take place later in the film.
Yeah. And have a completely different meaning behind it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and that's one of the themes of this movie, is that history is repeating. But it's repeating with a twist. It's and not like Shyamalan twist, but more like a twist in perspective.
There's a bunch of new characters in this.
Some of them will have more impact than others.
My problem with it is they didn't feel like they belonged in Star Wars, to be honest.
Yes. Are you talking about the purple-haired captain? Really? Even Rose?
Even Rose.
Even Rose.
Rose felt
more like she was from Rogue One. Yeah.
A little Mary Sue-ish.
She was a little Mary Sue-ish.
There's nothing wrong with her.
But she was also adorable. She was kind of like the fangirl who got to participate in something.
That's true.
But I don't know. I kind of like her. She doesn't fit in with the whole hero story character designations. But I wasn't mad she was in this film. As a matter of fact, I quite enjoyed her. What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I enjoyed the film. But a lot of it didn't feel like new Star Wars to me.
It felt like the old Star Wars?
No, it didn't even feel like the old Star Wars. There were still new planets that were explored, and, a few new characters. There's a smattering of aliens. I was actually wishing there would be more aliens this time around.
More aliens with a main character, I would think. They keep having this one alien who seems to be really good friends with Poe, but he never does anything more than shake his hand or offer a side comment. I would have liked to have had him more involved.
Chewie gets pretty heavily sidelined.
Yeah.
R2 is an afterthought.
Yeah.
BB-8 does a lot of stuff that's kind of comical effect for the kids.
The Porgs were annoying, but it was okay because Chewie hated them as much as we did.
They were pests.
They were pests.
That's exactly
what they are. They're pests, and they're even presented as pests. Nobody seems to enjoy their company.
Yeah, there was a lot of focus on new creatures, not sentient aliens, but
just creatures,
animal critters. And after a while, the animal critters were okay, because everything there wasn't a new dangerous species like the Sarlacc pit or
the Wampa, yeah.
And basically every single non-sentient alien life form that they ran across
was designed to be a plushie.
Oh, I'm so nice. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just there wasn't really a sense of new and unpredictable danger.
I think the focus of all the danger is with the First Order at the moment.
Yeah.
They're definitely the evil in the universe is centered around just the First Order and Kylo. And sometimes not Kylo.
But then it's okay, but then you think back to the original trilogy, you have Boba Fett and Jabba and all the extra gangsters, trying to hunt down Han or something like that.
They have something like that in this where they have to go to Finn and Rose have to go to a casino palace, and they kind of touch on there that, hey, it's not just the First Order, look at the evil here. It looks pretty, it looks fun. Finn at first loves this place, and then Rose points out, yeah, but if you look a little closer, you can see the slavery. And there's some kids that keep reappearing.
Right, but those guys the wealthy people and running the slavery thing doesn't really have an impact on anything
on the main
whatsoever.
story. No.
And this movie kind of takes place within like a set of hours, I'd say. There's like
I
days
think it's
pass
like
for
6 hours.
Yeah, there's a thing
for the
where
main
like
plot.
yeah, there's a thing where like days pass for Rey. Like it kind of her story picks up like right after meeting Luke.
Exactly after meeting
so
Luke.
it
As a
kind
matter
of
fact, no, go ahead.
sorry, it kind of has this time jump between the Resistance having to deal with the First Order hot on their tail, and then basically going back in time, being like, and now Rey's up to this exciting, fun stuff, and
She's hitting rocks.
yeah, then she's exploring caves that I guess they're supposed to be like the dig up a tree, but they don't really say anything.
It's like a mirror or something.
Like,
I don't know. That scene was weird, but I went with it.
the scene was weird, and like it didn't.
There were no answers there.
Yeah, I didn't feel like.
I think one of the lines she says even like is, "I thought there would be answers here, but there isn't."
Yeah, and so there's like a sort of cool effects thing to it, but it all winds up being a wash, and the audience doesn't really learn anything from it.
Yeah, we still don't really know who Rey's parents are.
Apparently she says...
Well, no, Kylo says that they were nobodies who just kind of left her there, who kind of traded her for drug money, essentially. I don't really believe that. Although I would love for her just to be nobody so we can just drop this ridiculous who is Rey's parents thing, because it's greater scheme of things, I don't really care. I think Mark does a great job.
Yeah,
he was definitely able to, because that's one of those things actors who play roles as iconic must fear at some point, that they're going to have to step back and play that character again, and then it might not work out. Kind of like Harrison Ford and Indy in the Crystal Skull, where it just didn't quite work out. This,
or Deckard in Blade Runner, or Han Solo. But he did a really. He was still very much definitely Luke Skywalker.
It was Luke. It really was Luke. There was one moment where I was like, I don't think so, and that was big spoiler. Luke tried to kill Ben Solo, apparently, for a brief second, because he sensed darkness in him, and then Kylo had a big old shit-fit tantrum, because that's what Kylo does. It's
one of those storytelling scenarios where you learn a little bit of what happened over the course of time.
And
like,
it's from different perspectives.
You're missing these details. Oh, but you're missing these details. Oh, here's the final details. I'll wrap everything up all nice and everything.
Yeah.
And then it works. So.
It does work.
And I thought I was like how it all ultimately resolved in that story, that little story, actually did reflect.
You know what that reminded me of?
Period.
That reminded me. You know the hand drawn Clone Wars episode. This would have fit. That story would have fit in perfectly. In that storytelling stance, like that's what it kind of reminded me of. I don't know why, but the whole scene. They basically, in the end, what all this bullshit falls down to is. Luke finally stands up against Kylo in a pivotal moment. And this is the big event of the movie. All these AT-ATs are shooting at him, and you have to admit that was a really good scene.
That was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
4 AT-ATs pointed at Luke.
More than that.
More than that. Pointed with Kylo just going like, focus all your guns on this motherfucker right here and just obliterate him. That doesn't work. And you find out at the end why none of this shit is working, and it's clever as hell, and it's so Skywalker. Kylo kills Luke and then turns around, and there's this moment where, when the samurai movies happen and they go across and there's like he tries that move, and Luke basically is still standing there, and Kylo comes up to him and pokes him with the lightsaber through his chest, and Luke has this almost shit-eating grin on his face.
No, we already fulfilled our dude getting cut in half quota for the movie.
Yeah, right? That happened earlier. We'll get to that. But, yeah, he pokes with the lightsaber, and that's when Kylo realizes Luke's hasn't been there the whole fight. He has been phoning it in from his little island rock. And then he just kind of, like, disappears, and Kylo's pissed because this has allowed the Resistance to escape. Yep. And he's fucked up again. He fails a lot. But yeah, to backtrack a little bit from that. Well, no, actually, we should probably talk about the big spoiler. Big spoiler. Luke dies in this. After that whole big battle, he just kind of fades into the Force. And it's actually a really touching and cool scene. Mm. Yeah, I liked it. Like, the Binary Suns theme is playing, and you get that behind shot where he's in silhouette, and then he just kind of fades and the ropes fall down, and it's pretty killer.
Yeah.
But why don't we backtrack, and I'll let you talk about the big lightsaber fight that goes on.
Like, all of a sudden in the middle of the movie, it's like, there's lightsabers, there's those dudes in the Red's armor, we finally get to see them in action. I can't even say much about it. It's just a lot of choreography work, and it looked good. It looked really good.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about that, or?
That's really all I have to say about it. Like, okay. I mean, it looked really good. The lightsabers getting thrown around, and the dudes have, like, all different kinds of, like, weapons. There was a freaking dude with a laser whip, and...
These are the, I think it's Proletarian Guards is what they're called, and I only know that because I work in a merchandise shop, and I've seen the pop figure.
Yeah. You also used to have that, like, suit of armor for the...
No, that was,
the
Imperial Guards. Guards, yeah, it was a different name for those.
Yeah.
And I actually have a theory about who those were. Basically, when you're learning about Kylo's past, you learn that he pretty much pulled an Anakin and killed all the younglings, but he did take a few with him. There's like a side note where Luke says, "Oh, and he took a few of my students with him," and I'm pretty sure those were the guards that were guarding Snoke.
Well, in any case, they're dead now.
Yeah, they're very dead now. Both Kylo and Rey worked together to kill them. And backtracking for that, we're just telling you the plot in reverse. We're just going to do that right now.
It's hodgepodge here and there.
Yeah.
Like, Benicio del Toro's in this.
Yeah, that was funny. He just pops up out of nowhere.
His character was okay. He had a stutter. I can remember that.
He was... You haven't seen Unusual Suspects, have you?
Probably not.
Benicio del Toro's in that, and it's like a betrayal scheme amongst criminals thing, and... You know the Kaiser Sose thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kaiser Sose pretends to have a stutter, and this guy who betrays them actually has a stutter.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the reference. I was like, yeah, you're doing the Kaiser Sose thing. Cool. What the fuck are you even thinking about? Okay, this is the one thing that did annoy me. They are just wasting having Gwendolyn Christie in their movie.
Pretty much.
She shows up, she does that one pose with the gun, and she marches really well, and she looks great in that suit of armor, but she does fuck all.
Like, she could be a really good recurring villain.
She could. She could be like, well, no, actually, she is the Boba Fett. Looks really cool, does nothing. But yeah, Finn gets to kick her ass, and that's nice. Finn has a kind of romance with Rose. I don't know. It comes out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I'm not...
I think it came out of nowhere for Finn, too, because he didn't seem too into that kiss.
It's just one of those. I mean, they happen in movies. I understand.
I thought for sure they were going to kill her after that kiss. I was like, she kissed him, and now she dies, and now she's with her sister. Because, by the way, the wonderful opening sequence sets up her character arc. Her sister gets blown up because Poe Dameron was an idiot.
Well, bad luck and A lot of bad spacing. Seriously, guys, if you have explosives on your ship, don't sit that close to each other.
They look like bomb bombs, too. Didn't you notice that? They were like little round and they had one little red light at the top. The whole thing, it was like a whole thing of Jerry's.
Oh my god, I just remembered the fucking evil BB-8.
Oh god, yes, the BB-9E.
Little tattletale.
It's just this little whiny snitch bitch. And BB-8...
I don't know how BB-8 got out of...
I don't know. BB-8 teleports a lot.
Yeah, BB-8 gets out a lot of shit. She just shows up places.
The one time I laughed at it, though, was when she took over an AT-AT.
It was I think I remember a George Lucas comment, like, he made sure that R2 saved the day at least, like, once a movie.
BB-8 saves the day once a scene.
Yeah, it gets a little ridiculous.
It does.
And again, like, R2 shows up once, twice, 3 times.
Yeah. C-3PO shows up to be told to shut up. I think the only person who's nice to C-3PO in this movie is Luke, and all he does is wink at him on the way out to die.
Hey, buddy.
Right? Master Luke. Yeah, I do think Mark Hamill is probably the best thing about this.
Yeah.
Rey's a close second. I think Daisy's doing a really good job with Rey. Yeah.
Finn did really good.
Yeah.
I like.
And Adam Driver, I really like him as Kylo. Like, I think he tapped into the fact that he knows that Kylo is this whiny child who's just, and one of the characters even calls him just a child with a mask, which, by the way, you won't see that Kylo Ren mask anymore. He fucking destroyed that shit. He punched it into the wall during another tantrum.
It was just starting to grow on me.
It was just starting to grow on you? Are you serious?
No.
There was one thing I liked about him, his look, that they just kind of changed immediately. He had this really cool sort of metal weave band on his face and on the trailers, and I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
And then they stitch it up.
And they stitch it up in, like, the next scene, and it just looks like a normal facial scar, and I'm like, there's nothing sci-fi about that. But to be honest, all this stuff is just nitpicking. While I was watching it, I was having a good time.
Oh, yeah, like, the movie's good.
Yeah. I mean, you could go back to the original trilogy and nitpick it just as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. If you like the Star Wars, you will enjoy the Star Wars. Go figure. Alright. Trailers. Trying to remember what they were. There was Rampage. That still looks kind of dumb.
Avengers Infinity War.
Ah, that one, though. People doing things in places. The trailer. And you laughed at Thanos.
Thanos still looks weird. Why'd they change him? Like, I get maybe wanting to change a character look a little bit because he might look a little ridiculous.
He needs the helmet. He looks like a California raisin without it.
Yeah, nope. He still looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so now.
Battle Angel.
Could be okay. There's a new Wrinkle in Time trailer.
Yes. The Wrinkle in Time trailer looks fantastic,
Yeah.
but to get back to Battle Angel,
Sorry.
I'm still not over the Uncanny Valley thing. I'm getting more used to it, and as I'm getting more used to it, it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's the point, because she is an android.
Yeah.
That thing.
She is, so maybe, I don't know. This is a Rodriguez thing, the guy behind Sin City and whatnot.
Oh, boy.
So, it could either be really good or Death Note.
Shark Boy, Lava Girl.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Death Note. I don't think he had anything to do with Death Note on Netflix.
They're both anime adaptations.
Oh, okay. That's where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it could be good or it could be Death Note. From now on, if an anime adaptation is horrendous, I'm calling it Death Note. Because they earned that shit. And then, like you said, A Wrinkle in Time.
Mm-hmm.
That looks so good. It looks so good.
it might also be a little overstuffed. There was a lot of stuff in that trailer.
Definitely probably a little... The book itself has a lot of shit in it.
Like, every few seconds there was like a new shot, and it's like, oh, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff. I'm like, okay.
But you know what it feels like to me? It feels like an American version of a Harry Potter movie. And that could be good. And I'm not speaking like Fantastic Beasts. I mean like a child, magical child thing going on an adventure and having people follow them.
I was just about to say.
I know you
wasn't Harry
were.
Potter an American production anyway? Because WB or whatever.
Anywho. Well, the other thing I could have gone with is, this is Harry Potter for girls, but I'm not going to fucking say that.
I thought Harry Potter was for girls.
It is. Harry Potter's for everyone. But there are going to be a lot of stupid people who say that, which is why I was trying to avoid the comment. But it is nice to have a female-centered sci-fi story that isn't about horrifying things.
I wonder how soon the little child gets disappeared.
Right? Because he's not, like, in a lot of it.
He's in, like, maybe a quarter of the trailer, and then
if I'm remembering the book correctly, he does kind of poof at one point. They get him back.
Yeah.
But he does poof for a good part of the book.
Are you prepared for child torture? Anyway.
That's a thing that happens in the book, and this is a Disney movie. I don't know how they're going to handle that.
Well.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what we'll be back with next. I'm not sure what comes out next. I want to see The Shape of Water, but it's not playing anywhere near here. I don't understand. That looks amazing, and I can't find it locally, and that's pissing me off. Yeah, anyway, battery's dying. Go see Star Wars. If you like Star Wars, you're gonna like this one. Alright? Bye, guys.
Bye.